Peace, peace, everybody. Welcome to Fasting's live show. And today's topic is going to be how to lose weight while eating. Welcome to the show, How to Lose Weight Eating. On today's show, I've planned to basically give you guys a few tips on how to have a diet that will not only allow you to digest food, but at the same time, lose and maintain weight. I know when it comes to the topic of dieting, a lot of people struggle. They look for different formulas on how to go about it. So on today's show, I'll give you some tips on what I have done in the past and what I'm doing now, and from other people's experiences. So let's get into it. 1 second. As you can see, I just put a image of a lady eating a cheeseburger. Now, dieting is part of our daily routine, and we have to remember that food is the fuel for the body. And you know depending on what you put in your body, there will be a reaction, whether positive or negative. Now my channel, as it's known, it's fasting is life, right? So one secret about fasting is basically abstinence from eating. Some people throw a jab, they say it's starving. But I'll if someone says it's starving, I'll say it's control starving, because you are in control where you abstain from food. And even if we look at the word breakfast, in that word you have break, fast. So when you eat you quote unquote breakfast, you're breaking a fast because you wasn't eating prior to that moment. So even in our language and customs, we already practice fasting unaware. And certain strategy must be done. We live, us here living in the United States of America, we already know that most of our food are quote unquote genetically modified. So we do our best when it comes to dieting to try to find the most healthy diet that we can basically sustain our body from day to day. And it's very difficult because most of the time we don't hunt our own food, or we don't grow our own food. We have to go to a market to buy it. And I'll say 85% of the time, most of the food we're gonna be buying is unnatural. It's not from nature. It's modified by man. But regardless of that, I will give you some strategy on how you can basically eat healthy and at the same time either maintain your weight that you already have or lose body fat. And it's a slow progress, but you have to be consistent. It's not going to be an overnight miracle for you to quote unquote lose weight. It will take some time, and the power is in your hands. So if you are thinking that this is just going to be a overnight thing where you can just wake up and then lose 50 pounds, you're mistaken. That's not how it works. Let me show you another picture. I've known people who eat like this guy. They'll eat pizza, fatty food, pasta, and they never gain weight. They look slim, fit, and all that stuff. Some will say this person, the reason why he can eat anything he wants but still look slim is because he have a high metabolism. Yeah, that could be true. At the same time, you have to wonder how is his eating routine. Because let's say that person will eat one heavy meal within 2 hours, right? He'll eat like that within 2 hours. And the next 22 hours, he doesn't eat anything else. Yeah, over time, his body will adjust because he's giving his body all the time he needs to basically burn out those calories that he just consumed in a short amount of time. So let me lay out the simplest strategies you can do right now to eat and lose weight. The first strategy is something I've done in the past is eating one meal a day. Some people give an abbreviation called OMAD, one meal a day. And with that one meal a day is eating once a day. And that rule is you're gonna eat till you're full. Eat till you're full, and then don't eat afterwards. But you only do it one time in a day. And I know some people will be like, man, that sounds like hard because what if I get hungry? That's the whole idea. When you do that, you're trying to teach yourself discipline. One meal a day, one thing I experience is when you actually eat like that, it's like there's a satisfaction because you skip breakfast, for an example, right? And then afternoon comes, you may get thirsty, drink some water. And then if you decide to eat, you go ahead and eat. But you know that once you eat that one meal, that's it. You won't eat anything else until you go to sleep and wake up. So it's like a routine. So that is one way that you can actually eat and lose weight. That is one of the strategies you can do. The second strategy I would suggest that you can do is giving yourself a window during the day that you can eat. Some people suggest 8 hours during the day and 16 hours of a fast, meaning within an 8 hour window, you can eat anything you want. And then after that window, you don't eat anything else. If anything, if you have to consume anything, it's going to be water only. No snacks, no fruits, nothing. Anything, any calories you're going to consume because there's no calories in water, right? So if you're going to consume any kind of calories, you will consume it within that 8 hour window. Now you can do a 8 hour window, 6 hour window, five, four. It's all up to you. But I'll say for the majority of the people, an 8 hour window is the most generous when it comes to eating and eating to maintain or lose weight. That is one strategy. And then the third one is eating every other day. So basically, you eat regularly one day, and then the next day you don't eat anything. So let's say in a week there are seven days. So that means you're gonna get to eat 4 days out of seven. So every other day you skip a meal. So you eat today regular, next day you don't eat, and then the following day you eat again, next day you don't eat. So you skip. So you eat every other day. That is another strategy that you can eat and lose weight at the same time. Then you can go as further where you're actually gonna have a routine where you will eat one meal one day and then skip a meal the next day and then do one meal again. So you see how I'm laying it out? There are layers that you can do. And then basically you have to know your body and see how you feel like. And the reason why you're doing that, because you will know when a real hunger comes and not cravings. I always tell there's a difference between craving and real hunger. That real hunger, when it comes and when you actually consume food, there comes satisfaction. But when you have cravings, you're never satisfied. That's why a lot of people eat snacks, because you have hunger and you think this snacks is gonna calm it down, but it doesn't. But when you have real hunger and you eat a very heavy meal, nice meal, by the time you're done, your hunger is quenched and you're satisfied. That's the goal where you want to reach. You want to have the ability and the discipline to eat only when you're hungry and not when you have a craving. And that is one of the most battle that many Americans have right now, that they struggle with eating for hunger and not eating for cravings. That is one strategy I will recommend, right? So far, all I'm doing is I'm giving you tips and techniques that you can apply in in your life and test it out. But remember, it's not an overnight thing where, oh, I lose weight. No, it's gonna take some time. Now you can be as radical as I was when I first tried out doing the fasting routine 2 years ago, where in 1 week I lost 30 pounds. Why? Because I didn't eat anything. I basically starved myself for 7 days and I lost 30 pounds. I did water fasting where I drank water the first 2 days when I was thirsty. And when I drank, it wasn't like, drinking like a whole glass. No, I drank enough to basically make my mouth, you know, moist, but not to drink to satisfy my thirst, because I was trying to discipline myself. And within 7 days, I lost 30 pounds, right? Some people say it was water weight. But I saw a big change in the mirror, seeing myself the first day I started fasting. And then on the seventh day, I went to see in the mirror a completely changed person in just 7 days. Why? Because I went to the radical route. And most people, they cannot do it. Right. So the thing is, if you want to see that radical change, you're going to have to take radical measures. And I doubt many of you listening right now will be able to radicalize going 7 days without eating any food. I doubt it. I know you. You're an American. You love food. You love that cheeseburger. You love that pasta. You love them veggies with a slide of bacon on it, huh? Chicken breast. So, if you want to see drastic weight loss, you have to go to the drastic and radical route, which is my favorite. But at the same time, you have to remember, when you someone who has a large amount of body fat, it's easier for that person to fast. Why? Because fat is fuel. But someone who's fit, it's harder for him. Why? Because his hunger is gonna be real. So that's another experience I went through. Someone who's heavy, let's say if you check your body fat, you're on the heavy side, you have a lot of fat. You actually taking the radical route, you're actually gonna do fine. Why? Because you're not gonna get hungry once your insulin level hits the bottom. Like I recall, I was doing 14 days at a time. There was a point where even smelling food, I had no desire of eating. It was like a euphoria where your mindset is like, I see food, I smell it, but I'm not hungry. That's how powerful fasting is, where you come to the point where your insulin level is so low that even the idea of eating with discipline, right, will don't come in mind. But what will happen is, if I were to do any activity like physical activity, then hunger will come wild, because when you burn calories, your body starts to look for fuel. And if you're losing body fat and there's not enough, for your body to preserve, he will start be like, you gotta eat, man. So your hunger is gonna kick in. But if you don't do any harsh activities, you just relaxing, meditating, what will happen is you'll be fine. So something came in my mind where I know a lot of people are home right now. They have nothing else to do. So there's gonna be a lot of people who gonna be collecting that, extra weight being inactive. So I'm giving you strategies where you can actually eat and lose weight, but it's how you're eating. Let me show you another picture to give you guys a good laugh. This one. What do you guys think? He's like, look at that jaw. He's like, I'm ready for it. Me want food. Let's see. I want to welcome everybody who's showing up to the show. Welcome in the building. I hope you're enjoying this topic. I just came back from work and I was, oh man, my schedule finished at 11, so I scheduled this at 11:30, and I was like, man, I'm like, I want to start a show. I haven't eaten yet, so right now, as I'm speaking to you guys, talking about eating and losing weight at the same time, I got a little plate on my side, which I just warmed up, that I'm gonna eat. And I was like, man, I'm talking about food, and I haven't even eaten yet, and food is right next to me, but I'll be fine. Oh man. Welcome in the building. Let me check the chat. Okay, I see are the OG in the building. Mr. Shout out to you. Don't worry, I'll get to your answer once I finish my little uh yak yakety yak. Brother Sam I am, I know he changed his name to Entanglement. I am. Morning Blue, peace. Brother Lawrence, shalom. All right, let me go back to it. So you see this picture I'm showing right now. This gentleman chewing that big cheeseburger, and you got that was it smoothie or ice cream shade on the side. So what I'm doing is I'm just showing you things you can do. You can actually eat like this guy and lose weight, but it's how you're gonna go about it, not just doing it. And another tip I could give is if you wanna lose weight while eating, try was it minimizing your consumption of meat and increasing your vegetable consumption. Why? Because vegetables are what is it? Mostly fiber, and also a lot of people, based on their diet, they have unclean or dirty colons. So to clean up your colon, you need fiber, right? That's why you gotta add in a lot of fruit. The fructose is gonna help you, you know, go to the bathroom, cleanse yourself, right? And I recall I had a conversation with OG on one of my streams where he talked about detoxing. He says a lot of people have dirty colon. Now, what I'm about to go into, hey, please, if you are consuming any food right now, you better close your ears or change channels. But I'm gonna use like a PG explanation. This is how I knew when I went on a 2 months and a half fasting uh, routine that I tried in 2018. I was doing 2 weeks at a time where I'll go 5 or 6 days dry fasting. Dry fasting means no food entering, no liquid entering your body for 6 days. And on the seventh day, I will drink or sip water. And then on the 14th day or 15th day, I will eat food. And what I'll eat at that time was sardines, maybe some vegetables, and rice. And then after doing that, I'll start again do another 14-day of fasting. I know some people may not believe me, but I have videos on this channel to prove. On my channel, Fasting is Life. Just go back on my older videos. You can see my transformation. You can see how my face was chubby and fat, full of grease, and slimming down all the way. And my colon was so clean, right? Let's say if I were to drink water and I went to the bathroom, it was all liquid, like water, nothing. That's how clean my colon was. And that's what I say, you could try that test too. You want to know how clean your colon is? Let's say, I'll give an example. Let's say I went for 14 days one time and then I got very thirsty. And I think it was like on the ninth day of my long fast. I drank some water, right? And now, my stomach was kind of turning because since I haven't had anything in my stomach, right? And I drank water. You know that feeling where it's like, oh man, I gotta go, right? I went after taking care of business. I'm like, what? There's nothing. So that whole feeling of going to the bathroom, I looked over in a toilet tub, nothing, all liquid. Why? Because my colon was super clean at that moment. There was nothing left. Because people don't understand, your fecal matter is actually food, is actually protein. That's why they say, you want to know how why you was it your fecal matter is fuel. Take a test on a dry, quote unquote, a dry fecal matter, right, from animals or whatever, and light it up. If it combusts, that means it's fuel. So if you don't go days without eating food, what happens is your large intestines and your small intestines, whatever that was inside, whatever fuel your body, because your food process go through a process, right? So whatever that's left, if you're not adding anything, your body just that's all your body's absorbing. It's cleaning up and killing whatever, and going through the process. And then once it gets rid of it, that's when it start burning body fat. So before you can quote unquote burn body fat, your colon has to be clean. So that was one experience that I had, that it took me a while to actually start seeing like my weight loss dropping. Why? Because my body first was targeting cleaning up my colon. That's why even though it felt like I dropped a lot of weight, when I look in the mirror, my face might slim down a little bit, but I still had belly fat and some fat on the side, on my arm, my legs. But to show you the power of going that radical, I was able to wear, after what, 3 months, I was able to wear my high school clothing. One shirt that I wore when I was 14 years old, I was able to sink into it. I had no shoulder, nothing, because I lost all, like everything. It showed me right there that everything that was there was just fat. So I went from 260 back then, which was mostly fat, to 192. And I even have a video where I showed my transformation. So, and then after I went through that radical change, I started trying to build muscle. And I'm still in the process of building muscle. And one thing I realized through this experience is it is very, very hard to build muscle, and it takes a long time if you are doing it the natural route with no quote unquote enhanced steroids or whatever. I'm trying to best to go to the most was the cleanest way to build muscle, and I'll tell you, it's not hard, especially being a truck driver and not having time to actually lift weight and build muscle, like pump iron. So to make up for it, I try my best to basically consume a lot of meat, and do the best I can, like eat clean meat like eggs, chicken, beef, and all that stuff. But because my job or my career right now requires me, being on the road driving, it's a battle. I can't achieve that goal doing this job basically, but I'm still hanging there. I've seen some result where I was able to build muscle, over the last year and a half, seeing progress where I can even tell myself some strengths I've gained when it comes to doing squats and all that stuff. My legs are very um, muscular compared to before. So it was a journey. And not everybody has to go the radical route that I've done, right? That's why I'm giving certain tips on what you can do for most people out there, right? Look at this guy, right? That's how my belly was. I know everybody when you look down and you can't even see your freaking belly button. You're like, God damn, oh man, come on, look, I want you to be, hey, you looking at your belly fat, squeezing it, right? You're like, be gone, man, be gone, uh, get out here. But sorry, yelling at your belly, it's not gonna do it. Right? You can be this guy, right? Eating all the pizza you want, right? And lose weight. But everything takes sacrifice. Yeah, I was like this person right here. I was wearing my jeans. I Look, check this out. I was at a point where I was wearing 3XL shirts, 3XL, and I went down to medium. Now think about that. 3XL, meaning for me to be comfortable and breathe, I had to wear a 3XL shirt, whether for work or just chilling. And my pant size was XL. Now my pant size is medium. I remember I spent a few bucks buying some nice jeans. I went to Ross, I bought them on discount prices. Guess what? By the time I lost weight, I realized, man, I wasted that money because I couldn't wear those jeans anymore. They can't fit me. Too big. So I'm showing you that it's possible. But to basically to master for your quote unquote fat salvation is yourself. What are you willing to do and what are you willing to sacrifice to reach that goal is the question that you should ask yourself. But how many are willing, right? Hey, it's easy to say, I want to lose weight. Everybody says it, right? But who's actually willing to take the steps to actually do it? Yeah, it's smooth. You'd be like, yeah, man, I'm working hard. I'm trying to get my dad together. It sounds sweet, right? Trying to save face in front of people. But when you're over there in your closet, thinking, be like, man, I'm gaining weight. I jump on the scale. The scale just cracked. Oh God, I'm looking at my face. I see some chubbiness coming in. I can't even see my ears. What's going on? My cheeks are leaving my face. So what should I do? You know? And I realize a lot of people they don't have the discipline, right? There are a lot of channels out here, that give advice on how to lose weight and stuff like that. But I've come to realize mankind, we have a better habit, meaning if something is free, you don't give it value. So what do? You make people pay for it. You got programs out there. Buy this CD, buy this program to exercise, right? And that motivated people to be like, okay, I spend like $200 on this workout program or $300 on this diet program, buying food. That's when people respect. Why? Because I guess they invested currency on it. That's what they value it. But most people they don't value free advice because it to them in their conscious somehow or there's some conscious it's not serious if I'm not putting that currency on it, right, to give it value. So that's why I tell people, you know, discipline is you have to motivate yourself to be disciplined. Nobody else can motivate you. unless you're in the military where it's commanded service. You have no choice. You either do it, you're out. And most people they're like, man, I gotta do it. I have no choice, right? So as I mentioned earlier, uh, different strategies that you can use that you're eating, yet at the same time you'll be you can lose weight and maintain. So I gave you the first one, right? Eating what is it, within a window, eating within was it eating one meal a day every day. So eat until you're full, and then I gave you the option of eating within a window, eating within a 1 or 2 hour window or 8 hour window where you can eat anything you want. And then I gave you the option of eating once every other day, basically eat regular like you do, but then you skip a day. And then you can use the one meal a day and skip every other day. So you're gonna eat one meal today, skip tomorrow, and then eat one meal a day. And then I mentioned about what is it? Eating veggies and lowering your amount of meat because of fiber, and eating fruits also. And the same thing, like the same food that you're gonna eat, you can basically assign it to different strategy of the application. Where let's say you eat veggies and maybe a few eggs or sardines or chicken breast, and then let's say you do it one meal a day, or you give yourself that 8 hour window, or you do every other day, basically. Simple as that. So, you want to know how to lose weight while eating? Then start from the beginning of this stream. So far, I've been speaking for 32 minutes, and I think I've given you the simplest form. I mean, this was a free advice. I mean, if you can't even do what I just say right there, man, I can't help you. I don't know what else to tell you. Unless, of course, I can charge you a $2,000 consultation. Was it? I'll charge you $2,000 to basically call me, and I'll give you an advice. Why? Because by you spending that $2,000, you're gonna have no choice but to do it. Or you have a choice. Well, let's do this free advice and implement it in your life, and give yourself 1 month to 2 months to see results. But like I said earlier, you can be radical like me and see the result within a week. But guess what? That means you're gonna have to go 3 to 7 days without eating any food to see some sort of radical change within a week. But 98% of you won't be able to do it. You don't have that discipline. Sorry. And I can prove it. I can put my money where it is because I not many people. Hey, I love of you listening right now. Can anyone listening, right? Maybe I'll open the panel where I can have somebody who actually did it. Anyone out there has gone 14 days at a time without eating food or drinking water, right? Or you went 10 days dry, no food, no water, and then 4 days of water fast, bringing you to a total of 14 days without eating any food. Anyone out there have done it? I would love to hear your story, right? I know some people have gone 30 days water fasting, right? But I have yet to meet somebody who went at a time more than 7 days of dry fasting. I remember reading an article that say on record, the only person they know so far who went longer without eating food or drinking any water was some Russian guy. They were doing an experiment. He went 14 days dry, no food, no water. Man, I- man, I'm like, wow, that's amazing. The longest I've ever gone without eating any food or drinking water was 6 days. And I'll tell you, that pain that comes after going that long with man, I was like, I need to break that seven. I need to break that seven. My body's like, sorry, buddy, you can do it. I was like, no. Please give me that 7. Nope. He's like, I'm sticking you to 6 because your body reaches that plateau where it's like there's a hunger that just come, man, because you haven't drunk any water, right? And you haven't eaten anything. And I'm telling you, that pain that came to me was unbearable so much. I had to break my fast, man. I had to drink some coconut water. And I was like, no, dear, no. Man, because I wanted to challenge myself. I wanted to challenge my body, right? But because I was in tune with my body, I had no choice but to break it because my body was like, "Hey, bro, you reach your limit, man. You can't go. You gotta drink that coconut water. Drink it, break your fast. Come on, do it." And when I broke my fast, man, I went to that bathroom, man. Like I told you guys earlier, nothing because my colon was clean as as a blank paper. That's how clean my colon was. So those are some of the strategies that you can adapt in your daily quote unquote diet so that you can, actually lose weight, but at the same time you're eating, right? So yeah, you can lose weight with eating. Yes, it is possible. But me, I'm very radical and crazy in the head. I like to go overboard. I want to challenge my body. I want to be in tune one with my body, right? Body, soul, spirit. So I had to go through it. And I went through it and there's this euphoria, this feeling. Your five senses are enhanced. Like my senses, my skin was smooth. Like I, I didn't even need to put any lotion. My skin was giving itself its own lotion, and my skin was smooth as a baby's, buttocks. That's how smooth my skin was. I wasn't putting any lotion, nothing. First, my detox, I was having a bunch of breakouts. My skin, when you have breakouts and you got scars in your skin, guess what? My body healed it itself because it was working. It was pushing all those toxins to my skin, and those scars that I had gone from those quote unquote pimples. So I went through that experience, right? And I'm, disclaimer: I am no doctor whatsoever, right? But me going through that experience, I understood the power of the human body. And a lot of people, because they're not in tune of it and they have a dirty colon, that's why a lot of people are sick, right? I'm telling you, your colon, your digestive system is the foundation for your life. And if your sewer is dirty, I'm sorry, it's clogged up, then your whole body's messed up. Clean it up first. I'm telling you. Try it. But I'm telling you, it's not going to be easy. It's going to take a, a high amount of discipline to observe this strategy and see the results. But like I say, most people, free advice, they don't take it to heart, right? Because it's free. Who cares, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I'm telling you, this whatever I just told you right now, it works because I've tried it in the last year and a half. I went the radical route, and when I started building muscle, I started experimenting. I'm not telling you something that I have not done myself. And also, you have to remember, uh, your hunger and your cravings are two separate things. I'm gonna emphasis on that. Your hunger and your cravings are two separate things. Your cravings will feel like hunger, but it's not real hunger. It's cravings. A lot of you listening, you don't know real hunger. I'm telling you right now. A lot of you don't know real hunger. And those who have experienced real hunger know what I'm talking about. And that's why I say when you have real hunger and you eat till you're full, till you're satisfied, the hunger goes away for a long period of time. It doesn't come back. You won't need to eat snacks after satisfying your hunger. And that is a fact. But you won't understand this or you won't know unless you try it and experience. Test, right? Prove what I'm saying is can happen, you know. But me telling you that I'm telling you my experience, right? So to summarize and end this conversation that I just had with you, I hope you take to heart what I've told you and use it for your own benefit. Don't take my words for it. But as you can see on my channel, I have videos from 2 years ago. You can go back to my oldest videos. You can watch and see my transformation. And if you still don't believe, you can try it. It it's not hard. Try it and see for yourself. And maybe once you discover a real hunger, you will thank me later. You'll be like, wow, I didn't know there was such thing like this. Because all you've been trained was satisfying your cravings and not your true hunger. And that's a reality that we see right here in the West, right? We're surrounded by food. You know, you're driving, you see billboards, but with all the foods around us, why people are not satisfied? Why you still want to eat after eating? Why? Because you're not satisfying your true hunger. That's why. Like I told you, I have food right here next to me, right? But I chose to talk to you guys. Why? Because I have discipline. I have discipline. And it wasn't overnight. And I hope you guys take this advice to heart so you can eat like this lady right here and this gentleman, this guy. And if you have a belly like this, you can go to this. Right. So thank you guys for stopping by this stream. I could end it because I wanted this to focus more on how to lose weight. But what I'll do is I'll open the panel for a few minutes. Hopefully, I can hear some feedback. Those who have experience with this technique, 1 meal a day, fasting, eating every other day, or somebody who have gone was a extended period of time fasting, whether dry fasting, water fasting, OMAD, or somebody who beat my record. They went beyond 14 days without eating any food and dry fasting. Right. So let me first post was a commercial on my wall, basically telling you like, subscribe, share. If you want to support me, you can cash up me and stuff like that. And I'm dropping the link to StreamYard so I can welcome y'all to come join me for a small conversation before I end this particular stream. You're welcome to do so. Let's see. I see bro, it was a new 580. Welcome to the building. Mr. Benevolent, welcome to the show. And oh, okay, I see brother Judge Zilla, the beast. Judge Zilla. All right, he's up in the building. Peace, brother. How you doing, man? Welcome to the show.
Hey, what's happening, man?
Oh
No,
yeah.
like I'm waiting for a phone call, so I got a little time, so I popped into your channel here.
Thank
Um, no, that's 14 days, no food. That's serious, man. That's serious.
you.
That
Yeah, it
is.
was challenging.
I literally less than a week ago just watched a YouTube video about a dude who went 55 days with no food.
Wow.
He water fasted for 55 days.
Mm. I
Uh,
remember one guy fasted for like 65 days with just water only. Crazy.
yeah. And so I also remember there being a study. I'm pretty sure it was out of the UK, maybe 20 years ago, maybe 30 years ago now, um, of a dude who went an entire year under medical supervision.
Mm.
Uh, but he was supplementing with water, electrolytes, and multivitamins
Ah.
under medical supervision. Um, but and again, that was a water fast for that period of time. I have experience with OMAD, 1 meal a day, uh, giving yourself a 10-hour window, an 8 to 10 hour window.
Mm.
Um, and I've also had that, intermittent fasting, right? So there's 1 meal a day, and then there's intermittent fasting. Yeah, you can combine the two,
Mm.
because 1 meal a day is what it says, 1 meal a day.
Yeah.
So effectively, your stomach can only hold so much.
Yeah.
And so, you know, uh, it's very hard with 1 meal a day. I mean, it's not very hard. I mean, if you're smart and you understand calories, I mean, you can pack 4,000 calories in that 1 meal.
Mm.
Uh, that's eating a whole lot of sugar, right? That's eating a
Yeah.
whole lot of sugar and a whole lot of fat,
Oh yeah. Oh,
to pack those in, because again, uh, if I'm not mistaken, fat has 9 calories, and carbs and protein have 4 calories per gram,
mm.
um, if I'm not mistaken. And I can say this is what I can say for 1 meal a day in intermittent fasting, which is what I utilize to after I got over 40 and continued my eating patterns, and metabolism slowed down, and I had some excess that I didn't like. Um, and I also messed with keto. So
Okay.
one one of the methodologies for all of them is because you're gonna get into this like flu state within like the first few days,
Mm.
3 to 4 days. Did you experience that?
Yes.
That grogginess and
Basically, it's a detox. I call it a detox stage.
yeah,
Yeah. Like a massive, like you have like fever or you have a headache. Some
yeah.
people, they have massive, diarrhea and stuff. So it depends. Me, it was more like I got breakouts. And let's say I'll go that 14 days and I eat, what happens? I feel that mucus because
Yeah.
people don't understand there's mucus is actually positive. What it does is it's like a protection mechanism.
Yeah.
So check it out. Like notice whenever you eat, you start get because you whenever you put food, you're putting also poison. So your body is going to a stage of removing toxins out. That's why you got that mucus activated or whatever.
Well, I figured out a way. I figured out a way for myself after reading and understanding. A lot of that is the reduction of electrolytes and sodium, right?
Mm,
Because you're not eating all those things that you eat, and typically with an American diet, you're consuming a lot of sodium, and your body becomes accustomed to it. And that's not to say that your body adapts to it. It adapts to it, but it adapts in maladaptive ways.
yeah.
Um, by increasing blood pressure, and increased retention of water. That's that bloating, right?
Yeah.
So because it expects that you're not getting that, it's been operating at a certain level. It's not happy, right? Your body wants to keep homeostasis, right? It doesn't like radical changes.
Mm,
But one of the ways when I go to either keto or OMAD or intermittent fasting, get through that at least in the first 3 or 4 days, is bouillon cubes. Using drinking like making bouillon cubes as like a tea,
mm.
because it doesn't give you there's not a whole lot of calories in them, but what it does do is it helps introduce electrolytes.
Oh, kind of like what is it? Potassium, like snake diet. I
Yes,
don't know if you heard of
yes.
snake diet.
Potassium and sodium chloride, because you need
Yeah.
both of them.
So like
uh
Himalayan salt or sea salt.
you can go that way. I don't think that those ways are necessary.
Mm,
I just there's not a lot of scientific evidence that those salts are significantly better than any other salts. Um, but people like to go that way. I'm not going to argue with them. Salt, in my estimation, salt is salt, and sugar is sugar is sugar. Uh, it's, you
mm.
know, it's just There's nothing worse. Uh, beet sugar is not better or worse than cane sugar. Is not better or worse than corn syrup. You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
sugars are sugars are sugars. They're processed by your body basically in the same. The difference is, I guess the differences between Ford and Chevy. You know, as it were.
Mm.
Uh, if people feel like they need to do Himalayan salts or sea salts versus Morton salt, hey, look, more power to you. It's your money. You spend it on what you see fit. You know, but I did find that it was that when I would be working and and uh, and fasting that and not as strict and not as water fast as strict as you were. But again, doing one meal a day, and that I would feel any of that grog, specifically within the first 3 to 4 days. That's how long it would be for me. That having a cup of that would push those symptoms. Would push those symptoms from and because we're human beings and we want to avoid pain, right? That's a way, like for people who feel that they can't get past that first, you know, 3 to 4, possibly even 7 with some people of horribleness. That's a way that they can get past it without crashing themselves too much on the ultimate goal. If that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let me welcome brother Lawrence. How you doing, brother? How you doing?
Oh, hey guys, how's everything going?
Oh,
Hey,
good, good. And before I let you jump in on the conversation, what I'm trying to do is I want to hit was it the 1 hour mark? So we probably have like 9 minutes where we can basically talk about this subject. But then what I'll do is I'll end this stream and then open a open panel so we can basically continue the conversation. That way I can have a separate stream where one it will focus more on the subject at hand, and then the open panel basically we can have the conversation. Who knows where it's gonna lead us, right? So
all right.
Okay,
yeah. So
but
we
I
we
mean,
have yeah.
well,
Go
I mean,
ahead.
if you want, I can hang up and I can just wait till you launch that. That's okay.
Oh yeah. Oh
Uh,
yeah. Okay. I can do that. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you, brother.
it's completely up to you. I'll let
Oh
the
yeah.
two of you finish out the last 8 minutes, and I'll just jump on the next one. That's all.
Okay. All right. Thank you,
Okay.
brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, no
Okay.
problem. No problem.
Thank you. Yeah,
yeah,
Judge Zia. Yeah. One thing I discovered is this whole thing is it takes discipline
yeah.
and experiment. And like I always say, there are certain things, they talk about research and all that, but one thing I even discovered that even here in America, the government doesn't really fund these kind of studies. They
Yeah.
don't really focus on it. I guess because there's no profitable investment on it. But it's
Well,
like,
well, they do. They do, and industries funded. But again, it's just like they did where they were blaming eggs for high cholesterol, blood pressure, yada yada yada, and you realize that was funded by a competing organization, right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
they wanted to hide that they wanted to hide the ills of sugar, which is another
mhm,
one, right? Which sugar is an addictive substance. Sugar
mhm,
is an addictive substance, and it's very hard to get away from. Again, if you read the labels of products that you're buying that aren't whole foods, you
okay,
know, it's,
mhm,
it's in everything: salad dressing, bread.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
it's in things that you wouldn't think it would be in.
mm,
I can't think of anything offhand that uh, I'm just trying to think of something that, like, even things that don't taste sweet have sugar in them. It's
yeah,
crazy,
yeah, yeah,
and have a significant amount of sugar.
mm,
Uh, but that's what, and it's not. I don't think it's by nefarious. I think it's what the community, right, again, because companies do things for profit.
yeah,
And if the consumer doesn't want the bad tasting thing that doesn't have the sugar in it and is buying the good tasting thing that has the sugar in it, they're going to make the good tasting thing that that they sell more.
yeah, yeah.
It's just
That's
kind of
true.
how it comes off.
Mm, yeah.
So
But we're gonna continue. What I'll do is I'll do it like an open panel on this
yeah,
topic, so we can have more people jump in. But
No worries.
I want to thank everybody to coming in. Stay tuned. Don't go away. I'm gonna start another stream so we can talk more about it. So it's gonna be more like an upper panel. But I want this video to be like short so that way the next guests who gonna watch this later on, they don't see 6 hours and they'll be like, I don't want to watch it, right? So
Yeah,
I want to
I
keep
hear
it
you.
short so that way it's straight to the point. So
No
I want to
worries.
thank Judge Zilla for jumping in, and I'll see you guys within 5 minutes. All right,
No worries.
peace.
Yeah.